Are you trans?
I am.
Do you have a pum pum?
Why weren't you just born a girl? That's skill issue.
Like, what the f? Did someone just perform like a lobotomy on me? I don't know what just happened.
Jag var en real man.
What? What is happening? I'm so confused.
Hello.
What is going on in these lobbies?
You wanna taste pummy-kaki?
I wish people went normal in this game.
Clove.
What's up?
You're doing good today. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jag var en real man, turn your back straight.
What the fuck is happening?
Clove.
What's up? What is happening?
Clove. Where?
What is going on? What the f is happening is a whole mood for today. Yeah.
Where are you? Where are you from, Clove?
Germany.
Do you have big pum pum, rasklad, cyklat, big pum pum?
What?
Are you big pum pum body gal eller?
Can you speak like English?
Do you identify as a woman?
Jag var med treat your pum pum real well.
What?
Jag var be a real man bad girl.
What the f is happening?
Jag var en taste pummy-kaki.
What are they even saying?
Do you want to be my friend?
I have enough friends.
Oh. Okay.
I'm sorry.
You sure? You sure that you don't want me?
Let a general taste your pum pum.
How much are you paying me? Can somebody?
So are you in the?
Jag liker pum pum real good.
Am I being like sexually assaulted right now? What the f is happening?
Are you female
Sage,
or
let me
male?
taste your pum pum.
Call me daddy and let me give you back shot.
Does that matter?
No, I'm just asking.
Let me taste your pum pum.
It's just an interesting topic, in today's society.
What topic?
Genders.
So your flag probably and what to fuck around with you? Yeah. Just leave the match.
Have you changed?
Clove, is your name?
Do you have a kaki or a pum pum? Do you have fat pum pum?
What?
Tell about man, please.
Pum pum equals the according to Google.
So,
What's up?
I'm just trying to,
What?
yeah.
Okay.
Have you changed teams?
Are you asking me if I'm gay?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm not gay.
Are you
Yeah.
cancelled?
Me can give you something, turn you gay.
Are you?
Are you trans?
I am.
Do you have a pum pum?
Does that happen to you often, or do you just edit this out of most of your videos? It does happen. Like, sometimes I turn it into videos. This is like on another level right now. I don't know what the f is happening. Just casually asking about your genitals. Yeah.
Me can spread your cheeks in your body.
Are you male? No.
No.
Are you
You
female?
female?
Yeah.
Me try and tell you, do you have a pussy?
Why do you ask about my genitalia?
Do you have pussy?
Why are you asking about my genitalia?
Me want know.
Oh!
A bad man want know. Tell a Jen.
Why do you want to know? What's the point? It's a video game, not a dating simulator. You guys are doing Jamaican accents and making monkey sound. Yeah. Wait a second, you're only now telling me Valorant isn't a dating sim? I'm sorry. Is this that gross? Yeah. That's the trans experience. There you go.
How much did it cost to, change teams?
Imagine being part of the LGBTQ.
Definitely should report him at the end. Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know if it does something, but like this is just insane. And I'm like so confused. When they were like making sounds and then seeing my trans flag, I knew this was going to be an interesting game.
Are you happy where you are?
Yeah.
Now.
Why weren't you just born a girl? That's skill issue.
Me can treat your pum pum right.
Like what the f Just got back, what happened? I'm being like harassed. Problem is people like this think that sexual harassment is funny. Yeah, they also think that it's not sexual harassment because it's through a game. That is just like the problem with it. They think they're not talking to real people and like it doesn't matter because it's just a video game. So like I'm actually overreacting if I call that shit out. If I would be like, hey, this is sexist, or like you're harassing me sexually, they would be like, oh, it's just a video game. It's just a video game. I'm not going to report the arena because the arena was weird and it's like kind of insane to ask people about like that genitalia, but like, you know, at least he wasn't being like, let me hit the entire time. Can you imagine the shit happening in competitive and you're stuck in like a 40-minute game with people like that? And then it's like, oh yeah, it's my fault. Jesus fucking Christ, holy shit. Why is there no volume slider in this part? Can you tell me why I cannot adjust the volume when I'm in the lobby? Very much ask about genitalia or touch it. Going to be offensive on purpose, yeah. If you're like curious about something, like why do you have to like phrase it in such a weird way? It's like, oh, you know, I saw the trans flag. Are you trans? You know, like in the end, being like, oh, are you happy now? That's like a valid question. But like asking me, are you male? Are you female? How much did it cost to switch teams? It's so weird. Generally, I don't think guys can ask normally. If you already know that it's like a touchy subject and you're like curious about it, and this is like your first interaction with someone who is trans, how do you not have the capacity of just being like, I saw the trans flag, can you like talk about it because I'm curious on the topic and I don't know anything about it? I could be like, hey, I don't want to talk about it, or I can be like, oh sure, let me explain, what do you want to know? That's like a different setup than being like, what does your genitalia look like? It's not latent transphobia, it's just like phrasing questions in a way that resemble transphobic talking points. Unsocialized cis dudes, yeah, I think there's like just like a socialization problem and just people having no like literally no understanding of like the topic and like how to talk about it. They can't phrase questions right because they only get fed the transphobic talking points. Yeah, exactly. That's, yeah. Like the audacity to even ask me about my genitalia. That is already like weird. Equating gender to what is in your pants, equating biological sex to gender. These are all things that are like transphobic talking points. I'm not calling the dude transphobic. I'm just saying the way they talk about these things come from a point of like transphobia, and it's just like a lack of understanding of the topic. And I'm not going to sit there and have like a debate with them, because like if I'm going to be like, hey, you know, asking me that is kind of transphobic, they're going to get defensive. I'm also not going to have a lecture in a swift play in a video game, and like the other two people in the lobby didn't make it better. But like I realized that he really struggled asking me a question, but like why can't you just drop it? You're basically asking me how much did it cost for me to get bottom surgery. You're assuming that I have bottom surgery because I'm trans. Like, yeah, I had bottom surgery. It's more of a coincidence, small little coinky dink, than like the norm. How much did it cost to switch teams? It's like, what are you even asking me? Asking to be a friend was beyond strange. I mean, I was kind of memeing a little bit with that one. Like, the audacity of cis straight guys will never surprise me. It's never shocking to me how out of touch these people are. Like, they have no respect for any personal boundaries. Like, just because I'm trans, just because I have a trans flag, doesn't mean you get to ask me about my yeah. We're not dating. We're playing a video game. What the is wrong with you? How is that okay? I bet you'd get less weird games if you hadn't the trans flag in game. You know, obviously if you have people who know what the flag means and they're like already like transphobic, etc., people wouldn't go into the game being like predisposed. But if they hear my voice, I already get questions like, are you a man or a woman? Are you trans? You sound trans. Like, I still get that transphobia. Like, also mainly I get homophobia. It's just my problem with it all. If you want to have like an actual conversation about it, a productive conversation, then like, why is your talking point genitalia? I don't want to remove the trans flag just because people are weird. Because I think like, you know, having some form of like solidarity and having like good moments is better than, you know, just giving in and hiding. Being trans is exhausting. Like, I don't mind when people are curious. I don't understand how people have like no, what is it? Feingefühl? What is that in English? A brain. Yeah, I guess that's, yeah. Or talk with you with genuine curiosity or decency, but it's like nobody has that and it's so draining. Yeah. Tactfulness. Yeah, I think that's better. I'm kind of an open book, but like, I feel like if I would answer like these weird questions, I would give them the signal that it's okay to ask these questions. If I'm like, hey, why are you asking me this in a video game? I'm curious, like, why are you asking me this in a video game? Pushing back on it is the correct call. Yeah, but like sometimes people turn out to be like really defensive and they're like, oh, I'm just asking questions. Oh, it's just a video game. You're just overreacting. It's like, yeah, you're asking me about my in a video game and you think that's okay, you think that's normal. Makes me ashamed of my people seeing how they act in these streams. Yeah, it's just like I feel like dudes have like a huge issue with like being socialized the right way, and this makes it like so much easier for like these alpha male dating coaches to manipulate the guys. Have you ever gotten recognized from your videos or your streams in the lobby? I have. I think twice or 3 times now. We all know that's by design. Oh, yeah. If you ask a cis woman when she got work done, you get slapped. Suddenly it's okay to ask a trans person what's in their pants. Yeah. It's definitely like a lack of respect. It's just like, you know, they're used to trans people being dehumanized. So you have like a moment like this and it just makes you realize how people view you. How people don't respect another human as a human because they are trans. Like in the way they're like talking to us and think that's okay to like speak to us that way. It feels so disappointing to think that like if you're trans and you identify a certain way, you need to have like the surgeries and everything. That's already just so toxic. They talk to us how they basically want to talk to cis women. Oh, let me hit. Oh, let me get in your pants. Oh, how much do you weigh? Oh, how tall are you? How many? What's your body count? This is the type of like audacity. It's just more obvious when it comes to like trans topics, I feel like, because there's like literally no respect. And I quote, how men treat trans women in public is how they treat cis women in private. Yeah, you have an insane amount of strength to deal with it so often. I'm kind of getting numb to it, but it is exhausting to always deal with it. And I know that like once I start getting misogyny, like normal in quotation mark misogyny, it's going to initially feel like euphoric because like, oh, finally society sees me as a woman. But like, I know that after a while, like the constant harassment, the constant misogyny is going to drain my energy. And it's just going to be like, oh, another dude who thinks that a man pretending to be a woman and I make the girl voice by trolling. Another dude who tells me to go back to the kitchen and make him a sandwich. You know, like right now, trans inclusive misogyny, etc., it kind of feels funny depending on who it is who tells it to me. But like to constantly endure that, like, oh, this is a man's game, why are you playing it? Like these types of things. Initially, it's like I want to get to the point where I experience normal misogyny instead of transphobia and homophobia. It is gender affirming misogyny. Finally, people are seeing me as a woman and they give me the treatment they give cis women. And then you realize how these people treat cis women is actually really shitty. So like, this is not going to be that much better. When do we get sandwiches? You don't want me in the kitchen. I burn it down. You basically go from transphobia to misogyny and it's like, this is what I worked for? Yeah, exactly. It's just like, I want to transition so society perceives me as a woman, and then you transition and society perceives you as a woman, and it's like, god damn it, society perceives me as a woman. Being a femme-presenting person is not good in a misogynistic patriarchal society. I would be like so curious to hear the stories of like trans men who are being perceived as men by society. They're like going from constant misogyny to no longer experiencing misogyny. I would be like very curious on like how that feels. I used to experience misogyny back in the day too, because I was being compared to a girl. I had people be like, you're not a real man, you're not a real boy, you act like a girl, you sound like a girl, you talk like a girl. I didn't have that male privilege, and it wasn't even particularly feminine, but I just like, I hid who I was because I didn't want to endure this anymore. I started faking my voice, like pushing it deeper in order to no longer get like harassed over it, and it still wasn't enough. So like I never really had like this male privilege.
What?
I'm so confused.
Are you a man or a woman? What?
What was I saying? God damn it, it always throws me off.
get him go.
Speaking of like dude making like girl voice trolling type shit, this is the
What?
problem. Like people doing
You
that,
wanna be my boyfriend, man?
and then when you have like a similar voice
yeah,
because like they're
sounds like
using
boyfriend.
similar techniques in order to achieve that voice. As a trans
you
woman,
like
you
being
get
gay.
like this insult or like that accusation of you being like someone who just like girl voice trolling,
want it.
and you're secretly a man. It's just kind of ruining it for like trans people and like cis women who have deeper voices. And if you're like a trans woman and you have some random dude have like the girl voice, and they're able to pull it off and confuse the boys, the e-boys, it kind of makes you feel because it's like, why can't he do it? Like, I literally just want to have like a passing voice. It's so unfair. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just being jealous. It's like, why can he do it? I paid thousands of euros for voice training. It's the same with like if you're like a dude and you have like feminine features and you pass as a woman, but you're just a guy. Meanwhile, you're sitting there as like a trans woman and it's like, why didn't I win like the genetics lottery?